For many reasons, this session will look different than last session. For example, last session, senators had to balance the budget. Now, with that work mostly behind them, they're turning their eyes to the state's roadways, water systems, and electrical grids, because this year is all about infrastructure. They say good things come in pairs, and while the forecast may not always be good, Eric Nauman with Senate Counsel Research and Fiscal Analysis says it's a rule Minnesota follows when it comes to the budget.
Minnesota enacts what's called a biennial budget. A biennial budget simply means for 2 years. And so in an odd-numbered year, the legislature is enacting a brand new budget.
Like we did last session in 2025.
There have been 35 ayes and 32 noes. The bill is passed and its title agreed to.
And now that we're in 2026,
we are not enacting a full budget, but what we are doing is making changes to the budget that has already been enacted.
Those changes are based on Minnesota Management and Budget's latest budget forecast, something else Minnesota does in pairs.
We do it twice because the November forecast usually informs what the governor produces for his budget or his supplementary budget. The February forecast usually allows for more precise information.
The November 2025 outlook was mixed.
Getting into the forecast specifics, we now project a budget surplus of nearly $2.5 billion at the end of the current 26-27 biennium, and that is $575 million more than our end of session estimate. Left unspent, the surplus carries over into the planning years, helping to reduce the projected negative balance in the next biennium.
So the legislature did a fair bit of work in the last legislative session, the 2025 session, to put the budget in a good position. However, we also take the budget temperature for the next biennium, so that would be fiscal years 28 and 29, and that budget is in negative territory. It's projected to be in negative territory for about $2 billion.
Which leaves the legislature with 3 options to balance the next biennium: cut spending, raise revenue, or take a wait-and-see approach.
I think there's a lot of unknowns about how the legislature will approach the current budget situation. In theory, the legislature could begin working on that, but that'll be a very big job. The benefit right now is that we have time to work on it, and so fewer changes probably enacted now might pay dividends in the next budget when that's actually being worked on.
But even with all of the unknowns, there is one topic sure to come up this session.
We make supplements in an even-numbered year, and we focus our fiscal attention on the capital investment bill. Think about a building, a bridge, a road. These kinds of things are paid for with capital investment dollars. And most recently, the governor has submitted a capital investment recommendation for the legislature to consider. And now it's the legislature's job to respond to that.
The Senate's Capital Investment Committee Chair, Senator Sandy Pappas, has responded to the governor's bonding proposal. In a statement, she said, while the governor has been a capital investment ally, his $907 million bonding bill is modest. To put the $907 million bill in perspective, Pappas says the state received $6.5 billion in requests from state agencies, state colleges and universities, and local governments. That's a difference of about $5.6 billion.